Hello, welcome. I am so glad that you all decided to join us for our little chat about seasonal affective disorder and using Jinshin Jitsu. Welcome, everyone. I'd like to say hi to everybody that's decided to attend. Now, this is going to be a pretty informal chat. And if there are questions, please type them in and we'll answer them as the program continues on. So do you ever have wintertime blues? Do you ever just not really sometimes understand what isn't quite right, but you're kind of bummed out? Well, hopefully today we're going to give you some tips and tricks in order to help us shake those wintertime blues. Jinshin Jitsu is a very ancient art. It is well over 100 years old in written form. It was an oral art well over in some ancient traditions of over 4,000 years old. And as time goes on with any oral art, it gets a little lost. And in the 1900s, a man named Jiro Murai rediscovered it and searched its roots. And lucky for us, he began to write that down. So now it will not be lost. So today we're going to use Jinshin Jitsu, this ancient gentle touch of energy movement, in order to help bring harmony and balance to ourselves to help us with our seasonal blues. Remember, this is not a diagnosis. And if you're really, really concerned about the level of your seasonal affective disorder, consult your physician. Are you ready to start? All right. My goal is to help you understand Jinshin Jitsu and gives you tools. There are just a little philosophy background. There are 26 areas on either side of the body, which are hubs that energetic pathways, run through your system. We like to compare Jinshin Jitsu to acupuncture without the needles. So today we're going to be touching certain areas on our body, and you do that over clothes, and it's a light, gentle touch. So there's no rubbing, there's no manipulation of tissue. It's kind of like your grandmother putting her hand on your shoulder and saying, it's going to be okay. Let's create some movement and balance in our system. Are we ready to begin with a little self-help? All right. So the first self-help we're going to start with, we're just going to use this as a general balancer. It is to take my right hand and put my fingertips, thumb in front of my shoulder, and then the rest of my tips of my finger wrap around by my armpit. Okay. I am going to hold both of mine this way. If it is not comfortable, then you just hold one side at a time. Now, Jinshin Jitsu, when we're doing some self-care, there are many types of timekeepers. Many times I will ask people when I'm teaching classes to count their breath. It's a great timekeeper. You don't need a clock. And it works well for what we're working with today. So I am going to ask you to take 9 exhales and 9 inhales as we hold this area to help our breath, to help bring centeredness to ourselves, because remember, Jinshin Jitsu is all about balance. To keep us in rhythm, to help us feel complete, a sense of wholeness. How is that breath going as we inhale and receive everything that we need through that breath? All of the abundance on a physical level, all the oxygen, so it flows through every cell of our body. And then we exhale and we let go of what doesn't serve us. We are exhaling on a physical level all those gases, carbon dioxide, all those things that our body no longer needs. In essence, we're emptying that bucket a little bit called our lungs, so it has room to expand into a new breath as we inhale and exhale. Now, as you can see that my hands are just lightly placed on my body. Jin Shin Jyutsu is so user friendly. I could be reading a book, and of course, right now I'm talking to you, and I could be watching TV. When I'm a passenger in a car, I will do a lot of self-help as I'm riding to my destination. It is built to float into your life, to be so incorporated into your daily being, into your daily routine. And it's so easy, gentle, and simple. Okay. Feeling pretty good with that one. I feel pretty together. Now, seasonal affective disorder in our world of Jin Shin Jyutsu, we need to bring a little more sun in our life, right? That sun's kind of not as bright as we're used to. We're not being able to be outside like we do during the rest of the season, during the rest of the year. So the self-helps that I have put together for us today will help you just bring a little more sunshine into your life. All right. And we're going to start out really, really easy. And we're going to start out with a very easy principle of holding our fingers. So I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to encircle it around my left thumb. I'm going to place my left thumb on my lap. You can place it wherever is comfortable for you. I am not squeezing it. I'm not rubbing my thumb. I am just kindly holding it, because Jin Shin Jyutsu wakes up that innate capacity inside us that we're all born with to harmonize and balance ourselves. It is total harmony. And that's the focus of every Jin Shin Jyutsu self-care, or if you see a practitioner. We are always looking for balance and harmony. So as I'm holding my thumb, I am helping the solar plexus right there in that diaphragm area, that plexus of nerves. In ancient times, ancient teachings, our solar plexus was also called our little sun. It helps our digestion. It helps the essence of our food so it can digest and be utilized throughout the body. It will help our breathing holding this thumb. It helps the attitude of worry, lack and limit, and it'll help everything to do with our grounding, our feeling connected with ourselves. If we're feeling scattered, this thumb is a great helper just to kindly hold. And again, I will use that 9 exhales and inhales as a timekeeper. But we are so lucky that, we have our smartphones, and there are actually timers on our smartphones and timing apps that many yoga instructors use, that you can set it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Now, as we're holding that, let's change hands. Let's take our left hand and encircle our right thumb. In the beginning, it's a really good practice to hold both sides, because each will be different. You use your body in multiple ways. You don't always use the right side and the left side together, or to the same amount or same duration each side. So I think they both like a little help to bring in the balance. And it's always a good insight just to have understanding the difference of our right and left. Now, as you're holding this, how does that feel? Are you feeling a little relaxed? Is your busy little mind quieting down? Did your stomach start to gurgle? Are you letting go of all the hectic activities of the day? As we exhale, we know getting rid of anything that no longer serves us physically, mentally, and emotionally. Let us bring balance to our breath, which is the great mover of energy, the great harmonizer. And through that breath, we bring balance to body, mind, and spirit, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And we know from seasonal affective disorder, it can bother us in all aspects: physical, mental, and emotional. And one of the principles with Jin Shin Jitsu is all those 3 elements that make up who we are have to play well together. They have to play well in the body that I am. So they need to be in balanced in relationship with each other and in harmony. Our next self-help, I have to look at my cheat sheet, sorry, is our ring finger. So we're going to do 2 easy ones, all right? Hope that's okay. So we're going to take our right hand and we're going to hold our left ring finger. Now this will help harmonize the attitude of sadness and grief. And again, it helps our breath. And like I said before, the breath is a great mover. It's a great balancer. And helps that internal sunshine, helps that solar plexus so we can all shine from within and support ourselves through those less sunshiny outside time of year. Now are we doing our 9 exhales and 9 inhales to bring balance? Have you noticed that your inhale has become deeper? Your exhale more fully, and you didn't even try hard. All you did was hold your fingers. when I'm asking you to breathe, I don't want you to force it. Jin Shin Jitsu will naturally begin to expand your inhale and create a fuller exhale naturally. You guys know how to breathe. No one had to remind you every step of the way to breathe and not breathe. And so let that innate wisdom begin to balance you. We get so busy with the hectic everyday stress and strain and activities. Our life moves quite fast now. So let us tap back into ourselves to clean up the day, to clean up this season, which can be a little sluggier from the lack of sun in our area. And balance our breath, balance us physically, balance us mentally, and bring balance emotionally. All right, let us hold. Let's change hands. We're going to take the left hand and hold our right ring finger. Now again, I'm going to remind you, you don't need to squeeze. We don't need the death grip because this does not work faster the harder you squeeze on your fingers. It is a gentle, nurturing touch. So let us 9 exhales and 9 inhales, or if you're a clock watcher, 2 to 3 minutes. As we exhale and feel that air going through our nostrils right down to the tip of our toes. And then we inhale and receive the abundance. Feel that air filling our lungs, expanding our lungs, that oxygen running to all the cells in our body. And then we exhale again, letting go. And inhale, receiving, nurturing ourselves. So how is that feeling? For those that are listening, are you able to feel a little of that pulsation in those fingers? If you can't, that's okay. You can't flunk Jin Shin Jitsu. It's still working whether you can feel the pulsation in your fingers. That just shows us that we're increasing our awareness of the movement, the flow, the ki, the chi, the prana, however you term it, flowing through our body. And it is our sense of balance, because when you're able to feel that pulsation under your fingertips, it may be really quiet because it has a hard time, it's tired, has a hard time speaking, or it may be pounding really, 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 really loud. That's telling you a story too. It has so much to tell you. You need to just hold it until the quiet one comes up to center and the loud one comes down to center. Because remember, we're looking for balance. Are you ready for our next one? All right. Now we're going to be working through on some safety energy locks. We're done holding fingers. We are going to take our right hand and touch our left bend of the elbow. And our left hand will go on our last rib. Again, that's where is it living? Where is it anatomically? Close to our solar plexus, right? This will help open that whole middle area. It will help our breathing. It will help our digestion. It will help everything in the center, in that area where our solar plexus lives. So let us again talk about those 9 breaths as our timekeeper. You're lucky. And Monday I spoke with a group. We had 70 in the group, and they held it for 36 breaths. So we're only making you do 9 in this half an hour. So let's exhale and inhale. Now, when you're doing these self-helps, you can do them, place them throughout the day. When I'm eating lunch, I will do a little bit of self-help. In the morning when I wake up, I take 15 minutes and do self-help, sometimes longer. At night, I use it as a wonderful cleanup to my day, and I spend at least another half an hour to 40 minutes. I love to do mine right before I go to bed. So when I'm sitting in bed at night, that's my optimal time. But I have other clients who love to do them when they're watching TV after supper, or reading the paper, and they will start their self-help. So what the trick is to find out where it's going to fit throughout your day. And then put in reminders on your phone. Did I do my self-help? There's a lot of tools at your disposal to help remind you to get your self-help in, because it's going to be a lot nicer winter if we're able to be a little more vibrant, a little more sunny. Okay. Remember, if there's questions, please ask them as we go. Are you ready? We're going to do the other side now. So we're going to take our right hand and we're going to touch we're going to take our left hand. See, I even gets messed up. Take our left hand and we're going to touch our right elbow. Bend to the elbow. And then I'm going to take my right hand and place it on my left base of the rib. I don't know about you, but I know my breathing has changed and has become more fuller, more expansive. And my mind is quiet and calm. And even my stomach gurgled a few times here as we're taping this. How is that doing with our exhale and inhale? I wasn't kidding you when I said this is the easy button. Jin Shin Jyutsu self-care is so user-friendly, so easy, and so comfortable. Which brings me to a point. If there is one of these self-helps that are not comfortable for some reason, you can't reach there, you have mobility issues, or depending on where you're doing your self-help, that it's not a comfortable, one of these positions are not comfortable, it's okay, go on to the next one. That's why I gave you so many options to help harmonize that area of the body And so you'll never run out of easy tips to use. Okay. Now we got a little collarbone to go into. Here's our next one. Isn't it amazing that there's this many ways to help that solar plexus? I think it's phenomenal, and that's the part I love about Jin Shin Jitsu because it's all about relationships. There are so many relationships in your body, and with Jin Shin Jitsu, we're able to harmonize from different points of view. So here's our next one. We're going to take our collarbone, and I'm going to take my left hand and place it on my left collarbone. And I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to get up and move a little. Place it on the small side of my back, the last rib, on the right side. All right. And now we're into talking about, I gave you numbers here. I said collarbone on our numbering of our safety energy locks. Right here, my collarbone is safety energy lock 22. And each one of these safety energy locks have a purpose to help us. And has a little message to help us help us be balanced and stay in harmony. Safety Energy Lock 22 talks about adaptation. How adaptable am I? And at this time of year, working with seasonal affective disorder and bringing that into balance, bringing that into harmony, adaptability is a very good helper when it comes to that. So by holding this collarbone, I'm helping myself be adaptable, adjustable, balanced. And now we're going to change. I am going to take my right hand and touch my right collarbone, and my left hand go to this left side of my last rib in the back. Now, if this was uncomfortable for me to hold, again, don't use some of the other ones. Because when you are not comfortable, what goes on to your busy little mind? Oh my God, she wants me to hold this 9 breaths. Boy, aren't we done yet? Is that effortless? And Jin Shin Jitsu is effortless. So I want you to be comfortable. So your mind does not go there of wondering, oh my God, how long have I been holding this? Because I am not comfortable. You can place a pillow underneath your arm. I recline a lot when I do my self-help. Or in this case, I've given you other options. Use those instead. It'll be perfectly fine. All right. So we're done with what I have planned, but if you watch, we put a little video up on seasonal affective disorder. So if you watch that, you'll get the 5th little tip of another way to help your solar plexus and bring in that sunshine. Thank you so much for joining us today. And next month, we'll poll you again to see what way we can help keep energizing yourself with Jinjin Jitsu. Thank you again.